We were the first to detect SARS-CoV in the country, and it was an exhilarating feeling.
Dr. Priya Abraham was just 2 months into the job when her team came across India's first COVID case.
Within about 2 weeks of our first case, we could visualize this virus from a nasal swab under the electron microscope. And viewing that virus under the electron microscope was again a very different kind of feeling. This was real stuff.
The team had to work fast, developing the country's first testing kits. The next challenge was to get them where they were needed most. No easy task in a country of 1.4 billion people, nearly 70% of whom live in rural areas.
People just came forward and, sent out those kits, be it from the last flight out of Pune or the first flight out of Pune, making use of the Indian Air Force.
India became the pandemic epicenter in mid-2021. Cases peaked at more than 400,000 a day in May. The healthcare system was stretched to breaking point.
I think during the pandemic, what was hardest was early in the course of the pandemic, we ran out of important RNA extraction kits. And these kits had run dry world over because everybody had started testing.
The team then turned to validating kits from local manufacturers.
Some were terrible, some were good, some were sort of almost there. So we held hands of those manufacturers whose products were not quite meeting the bar.
2 years ago, Dr. Priya never imagined she would be in this position.
I wasn't expecting to be shortlisted because I come from a very different background. I trained and I have worked for most of my life in Christian Medical College, Vellore, which is a non-for-profit leading private medical school and hospital.
She's had to fight to get to where she is today.
When I was in training and as a young consultant in the discipline, I was also a young mother, and I did find that when you try to balance your family life as well as your professional life, you needed a great deal of focus in both arenas. So I did find that people tend to consider such women as hyper-focused, almost aggressive, but which I don't think I was. It's just that I was very focused. I will not hesitate to say that I struggled, but I think I have overcome those early years, and that focus has borne fruit.